Well, tonight we have brand new information as we continue to investigate the IRS. In fact, it was a year ago that 13 Investigates exposed how the IRS has been giving out billions of dollars in fraudulent tax refunds to undocumented workers. Well, our investigation got national attention, and the IRS promised it was going to make some changes. Tonight, our senior investigative reporter Bob Siegel shows us why many of those changes don't seem to be working.
Millions of people know Howard Antelis, not for his play on the softball diamond, but because he's the guy who blew the whistle on the IRS.
I'm horrified and ashamed and embarrassed by what I've seen.
Last year, with Howard's help, 13 Investigates exposed billions of dollars in tax fraud. It involves undocumented workers getting tax credits for family members who've never lived in the United States. We discovered the IRS gave out ITINs, individual taxpayer identification numbers, for millions of immigrants who probably don't even exist, resulting in tax fraud on a massive scale. The IRS knew it was happening and told tax examiners like Howard to simply look the other way.
We were being told by upper management to ignore fraud and to assign ITIN numbers, and it's a license to steal when you allow that.
Our investigation triggered change and forced the IRS to take action. The agency promised reforms to prevent future fraud. That was a year ago. The question is, have things changed inside this ITIN processing center in Texas? Has the IRS made the changes it promised? And is the IRS now catching the fraud?
It's still a big scam going on.
Still?
It's still very easy to rip us off.
This month, I returned to Texas to talk with Howard and another IRS tax examiner who works on the front lines at the ITIN processing center.
They pretty much turned the whole department upside down on its head.
Linda Wickus and Howard Antelis both say the IRS has made it harder to get an ITIN for children who live in other countries. But they say thousands of suspicious ITIN applications still get approved because the IRS is constantly changing its rules, creating confusion for inspectors. How many rule changes are we talking about?
Hundreds?
Have you had rule changes this week?
Yes.
Last week?
Yes.
The week before that?
Yes.
They change every day, and what it's led to is anarchy on the floor because the rules are so inconsistent and confused now that there's no real clear guidance on almost anything, and that way things have gotten worse.
One of the rules that's supposed to reduce fraud is that undocumented workers must now provide original or certified identification papers in order to get their ITIN numbers. Notarized photocopies are easily forged, and those are no longer accepted. But these tax examiners say a lot of certified documents, those are fake too. How do you know if a certified document is a real, legitimate, certified document?
We don't. We get photocopies with an ink stamp from a certified issuing agency. There are 1,400 consulates and embassies throughout the world, and we are given no guidance as to what their stamp is supposed to look like. A smart crook will figure out, well, I just have to get this different kind of ink stamp and I can keep making my photocopied documents.
Since 13 Investigates exposed widespread tax fraud involving ITINs, the agency has brought in hundreds of new workers to try to catch that fraud. But these IRS insiders say most of the new workers are not well equipped for the job.
They hire temps with a contract of 90 days. You're trying to take a group of 600, 800 people and give them maybe an hour or 2 hours of training and say, okay, now you're fraud examiners. Now you can examine documents and determine if they're fraud or not. It's impossible.
The continued lack of training here in Texas is having a huge impact in tax preparation offices all over the country.
Not very much has changed.
This accountant thought things would change after he saw our investigation a year ago. He works for a tax service that serves illegal immigrants in Indianapolis. His company did not give permission for him to speak to 13 Investigates, so we're not showing his face. But we are sharing his concern. In fact, he's so concerned about all the tax fraud he sees, this tax preparer has started warning his clients.
Señor, para que sepa, si usas un dependiente.
He gives the warning in Spanish to make sure undocumented workers clearly understand they're not supposed to claim child tax credits for family members who live in other countries.
Por los Estados Unidos.
But He says hundreds of clients still decided to do it anyway.
We asked them directly if the children live here or not. Most of the time they said no, that they do not live here. And then that's when we explained to them that, there's the risk that they can audit you. The client's attitude was, why not? I have nothing to lose. We thought at the beginning of the tax season that instead of these people receiving their refunds, they would get letters instead asking for proof that those children are actually here. But that did not happen.
That means more than a year after 13 Investigates helped expose the problem, the IRS is still giving out tax credits for children who've never stepped foot in this country.
That is still happening every day, and they're getting refunds of $5,000, $6,000, $7,000.
He says that adds up to nearly $1 million in bogus tax refunds from just his one small tax office in Indiana. Nationwide, the number's estimated to be in the billions. And Howard says taxpayers will continue to take a big hit until the IRS catches on to the real problem, that the IRS spent a decade giving out millions of ITIN numbers that never should have been given out in the first place. Those numbers are now still being used to get fraudulent tax credits, and tax examiners can do little to stop it.
We're accepting it as if this is a legitimate person, even though we know that 80% of what we assigned in those years was typically bogus. Nothing has been done to correct it.
That's sad. It's problematic for the whole United States.
The U.S. government's given away billions. It's a robbery of our national treasury.
13 Investigates has obtained this new Inspector General audit report. It says the IRS has made some changes at its I-10 processing center, but it's very critical of the IRS for not identifying elaborate schemes using I-10 numbers to commit tax fraud. Now, the IRS would not meet with me, but the agency did send a statement saying it's making progress. We've posted that statement at WTHR.com. I'm Bob Siegel, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.